was wondering, do you still recall your first meeting?
Yeah, I think so. No?
I don't know if it's the first meeting, but the first memorable meeting I remember.
Yeah, no, we knew each other just from parties in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
you know?
and playing in different bands.
Drinking.
We had like I'd always you know.
What age? 16, 17?
No. You knew.
I was probably 21, 22.
Okay.
Yeah, I was probably 25. We lived in Minneapolis. Minneapolis is a small scene. Everyone was. I used to have these parties at my house. It's probably over there.
Yeah.
I used to have crazy parties in my house.
Crazy parties.
People jumping out the windows and things like that.
Yeah.
And so it was at one of those.
Yeah.
That was sort of a good setting for the whole study to start. And yeah, it's just like we had the house that everyone would come and misbehave at.
Yeah.
And what do you think of each other?
I remember liking each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were both into music, you know. I mean, it was pretty easy.
The thing was too is like I didn't you know, Craig had Lift Your Puller and I'd had a couple other bands, and we both played on shows together and stuff like that. But then when how I got in Lift Your Puller, the bass player left, and I normally I was been a guitar player, and he's like, you know, would you be interested in playing bass for a while? And one of the reasons I was interested in playing in the band is because I liked all the rest of the guys that were in the band. I just didn't know them very well. And I thought, well, this would be a perfect opportunity for me to get to know everybody better.
And when did you get that musical click? I mean, really writing each other?
Yeah, it happened pretty quickly because we started, like, you know, I learned a lot of the old songs that they had, and then did a couple of tours and we wanted to get a record out, you know, right away because they had just put out a EP or whatever. So going into the studio, and I think that, you know, musically it was, you know, it was a good pairing, I suppose. And then too, you know, he knows what kind of musical background I came from, growing up on you know, real, you know, 70s rock and roll and stuff like that. And I think when we talked about starting another band, you know, in New York, it was one of those things where it's like, he was kind of like, this is the kind of idea I have, and you're kind of the missing link here. It's because he had already been playing with Galen, our bass player and our first drummer, a little bit, and it just I mean, it worked out right away.
And it's for you, so I have to finish up now. Where do you want it to go?
Well, where we want it to go is, I mean, God, it's a hard question when you're sitting here and you can't believe you're here doing in Amsterdam, you know, you're going to play a show next week and all that. So, but I think, you know, in the big picture, what we want, I think any artist, in my mind, wants a dialogue between their art and their audience. And so I want to keep playing music. We want to keep playing music, and hopefully people still listen and be interested and listen as closely as they're listening now. And so that's where I want it to go and continue. And hopefully we'll still continue to see, you know, cool places and go to, you know, different, you know, Australia and the UK and Europe and even Kansas, you know.
But isn't it hard now, because now you know people listen to your lyrics, and now you have a broader, wider audience. Do you think about it while writing the songs?
Well, you could look at it that way. It could be hard or it could be exciting. Like you can say, I've got their ears now. I'm gonna really impress them. You know, so if you look at it that way, it's actually exciting.
And that's the way it is for you.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. It's just the other thing is too that's one of the greatest parts of it is, you know, we've done 3 records and going back and looking at our first record and then seeing how the band was able to grow from the first to the second and then the second to third. It's like, you know, doing something creative like that, you want to try to always kind of push yourself to see what else you can do. And I think that as long as we can stay on a path like that and still really have fun in what we do, and being on tour is such a great thing too. The kind of friendships and the people that you meet and stuff like that while you're on the road are, you know, people that I've kept in touch with and remain friends with and have some of the strongest friendships with too, and that's another great part about it.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.